finally, Garland Tyrell comes walking up, and all he wants is for their families to be joined together forever.
I got a hot sister.
What up, and welcome to another episode of Brotherhood Without Manners, your favorite full spoiler reread podcast of George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire series. A big breath there because I was out of breath. I'm Nate. Joining me as usual is my brother sitting here looking all yawny. Zach, I'll keep talking while you finish up that yawn.
What up?
There he is.
How's it hanging, listeners?
Well, I guess they won't answer right away.
I'll await eagerly your
Call
responses.
in now. We don't have a call-in number.
Normally
Anyway, we are a full spoiler reread podcast, and so this is your one and only warning at the top of the episode. We do talk about the series. We don't know what we might bring up, but we do know it will have to do with Sansa 8. Because
Correct.
that's what we're reading this episode. If you joined us last episode, we read Arya 10. And Arya left Harrenhal.
Yeah, it was Arya's last chapter in A Clash of Kings. She, in realizing that, and finding out that Roose Bolton intended to leave, Jesus Christ, not Amory Lorch, what's the other douchebag?
Vargo Hoat.
Vargo Hoat in charge of Harrenhal after he departed, that was going to be a shit show, so she went and summoned Gendry and Hot Pie, and
They dipped the fuck out.
They dipped, and
which
Arya
meant she took out the guardsman that was guarding the gate door that they were leaving from. She cut his throat, smooth as summer silk.
quite savagely. And Arya, Gendry, and Hot Pie escaped out of Harrenhal, and Arya has a little map that showed her the map of the Riverlands and where River Run is, and so she's going to start making her way that way.
Yeah, which just means she's going to get captured by the Brotherhood Without Banners.
Right. So this chapter, Sansa 8, is Sansa's final chapter in A Clash of Kings, and last we left Sansa, the Battle of Blackwater was still occurring, and she, after Cersei had departed, being freaked out about hearing news of Joffrey and how bad it was going, Sansa stepped up, took control of the ladies in the Queen's ballroom, and then went up to her own room to find the Hound awaiting her, and after singing him a song, he left her his cloak and dipped out of the city. And Sansa then sat there all night, and then had the news reported by Dontos that Tywin showed up with Renly, and it was spectacular, and they're saved. And so for Sansa 8, her final, we pick up in the throne room.
Yeah.
And it is currently a sea of jewels, fur, and bright fabrics. The lords and ladies of Joffrey's court had striven to outdo each other today.
So now he's mentioned first, and he is probably by far the most gaudy in there. Jalabar Joe is just covered in feathers.
Dude's a peacock, and it's sick. Yeah, Queen she notes the High Septon and his crazy rainbow crown that's just throwing rainbows. She notes Cersei.
In a gold gown slashed in burgundy velvet, and Varys in his lilac, I believe is what he was wearing, whatever the fuck it was he was wearing. And even Moon Boy and Dontos had new, clean, fresh motley.
Everybody's looking dapper today.
Yeah.
King Joffrey sat above them all, amongst blades and barbs in crimson samite, his heavy golden crown resting atop his head.
I forgot to mention Lady Tonda and her daughters are looking fine as fuck.
Right, yeah, everybody.
And Lord Giles was coughing in his silken cloth. I just think it's funny that, they were all fucking weeping and cowery a couple days before, and he was still dying, but now he's dying richly.
Sansa squirms through and made it to the front of the galley, just as the trumpets herald the arrival of one Tywin Lannister. And what a sight he is as he rides his warhorse the length of the hall and dismounts before the Iron Throne. Sansa notes that she had never seen such splendid armor, and it is dapper. I didn't really go into too much detail about it, but
he's got the the lions on the shoulders. He's got the big lion's head on the helm, and this cape that just fucking drapes down over the backside of the horse, and then the horse is all decked out as well.
Right.
And she says that with as majestic and imposing as he looks, it was a complete just shock when the horse shat right there on the floor. I think that part of that is almost as like a the horse would dare do that
Right,
in front
right.
of this
It's
mother.
how
like,
regal he
holy
is, right?
shit.
That he has a normal horse that shits, and so it's at this point
Yeah,
that
Joffrey
descends
stepped gingerly around the pile of shit so that he could embrace his Lord Grandfather
and proclaim him the savior of the city. And Sansa had to cover her nervous smile at the sight of Joffrey stepping around the pile of dung. But Joffrey makes a big show of asking Tywin to assume governance of the realm, and Tywin humbly accepts. Joffrey then fastens the hand's chain of office around Tywin's neck.
Yeah, he has it because his squire helps him take off his armor to where he's just dressed like a regular dude, and he gets the hand pin attached to his chest.
Well, it's a whole chain.
Well, the whole fucking whatever. He gets the necessary stuff to mark him as the new. Not new. He's technically been Hand of the King. He's just now taking his mantle, and then he makes his way up to the small council table and takes his place there.
Right next to Cersei, who nods for the ceremonies to continue. And trumpets blew for each hero as he came through the great oak doors to the throne room. Mace Tyrell was honored, followed by his sons, Sir Loras and Sir Garland. Joffrey descended once more from his great iron throne to greet them, which Sansa notes is another great honor. And I love the way Sansa, this whole chapter, is just taking shots at how bullshit
at everything.
this whole thing
is.
is.
Because she now sees, like, the scripted nature of the ceremony.
Of court, yeah. She gave them each a chain of roses wrought in soft yellow gold, from which hung a golden disc with the Lion of Lannister picked out in rubies. And Joffrey says, "The rose supports the lion, as Highgarden's might supports the realm." And he says, "Ask any boon of me, and I shall grant it."
Yeah, and so the first one is Loras.
Sansa
thinks, yeah, now this is it. Like, here we
go.
go. This is what I'm here for.
Because we learn that Sansa's been schooled for this.
Yeah,
she's been told how to react to this
We only
news.
get a little bit of that conversation, or maybe it's a different conversation, but yeah, we do kind of figure out through her little personalities and thoughts and internal feelings.
Well, I mean, she straight up says Cersei told her not to show like happiness at this announcement.
But yeah, so Loras begs the honor of fighting on your kingsguard, and Joffrey's like, "You shall, boon granted."
Yeah.
And he calls him brother, and I thought that was sweet.
Drew him up and kissed him on the cheek and says, "Done, brother." And Loras also asks humbly for a place on the king's council.
No, Mace does.
And
Mace asks for the place on the king's council.
And Joffrey grants that as well and gives him a kiss as well.
Finally, Garland Tyrell comes walking up, and all he wants is for their families to be joined together forever.
I got a hot sister.
Yeah.
She was married to Renly, but he rode off to war before they could consummate the marriage, so she's still a virgin and innocent. She likes you. You should marry her. It'd be hot. And Joffrey's like, "What?" He makes a show of looking surprised, saying that he's been promised to another, and a king must keep his word. And Cersei stands up and she's like, "Nah, it's chill. It's all good. The Starks suck."
Yeah, fuck Sansa. That wouldn't be wise nor proper. And the lords and ladies are all like, they're like a good fucking canned audience in here with like
trained dogs.
See,
Sansa
I feel like
says.
Varys is walking around the front with like a little
applause,
cue cards,
flipping
applause,
it,
laughter,
gasp.
Yeah. And so they're like, "Yay, Margaery!" And Joffrey's like, "Now."
Yeah, and I love that
Quiet.
Sansa just says, like trained dogs, they start taking up the call of Margaery, and it's just, she's so done with the show of court and what court is. It's not.
I think it's funny that now they're all the trained dogs right after the Hound dips out of the castle and is gone. But he quiets them and says, "No, I took a holy vow. I can't break that." And this is when
the High Septon,
rainbow crown wearing motherfucking High Septon stands up and he's like, "We have discussed it among the councils of the gods, and they deem it, your
Lord Father, for respects, made the betrothal before the Starks revealed their falseness. So therefore, the gods say it's fucking cool too. Like, we're all good here. We're all good. You're good, dude."
The faith sees no valid marriage contract, and
betwixt you and Sansa Stark.
The crowd erupts into applause. They're like, "Yay, fucking
Varys holds up the card. Cheering fills the hall. Sansa feels like, once again, she's on the steps of Baelor because she thinks he's not going to say it. He's going to fucking do something weird.
Something wild.
Even though his kingdom is literally at stake for this. He's going to do something weird just like he did when he promised mercy for my father and then fucking took his head and just put her right back into that little PTSD moment of
We're fucked.
He's going to do it to me again. Yeah.
Yeah.
And because she's also viewing this as her release, kind of not really seeing it through all the way.
Yeah, and even Tywin is looking over at Joffrey here.
What is this? What is it? Because he looks at Joffrey.
I think it's the
Joffrey
same
looks
thought.
back at him sullenly.
Yeah.
And then is like, oh, okay, all right.
I think that Tywin had some words with him about sticking to the script. After what happened on the Sept of Baelor.
Like, not flipping out
saying,
about Sansa.
Yo, you do something stupid in there and dishonor that girl, I will beat the ever-living... People will see how quickly a king dies in front of everybody. Like,
And
don't
just
fucking...
now and dying
like
flies.
and technically Tywin doesn't even need to say that. Like, his... just how he is.
No, he just
would
needs
say
to raise a
something.
finger, apparently.
Yeah, no shit. So, but yeah, he agrees.
Yep. And... yeah, Jesus. I can't get over Tywin. Sansa feels lightheaded and thinks, I am free, but I cannot smile. I must not smile.
Yeah, she feels the people watching her.
The queen had warned her, no matter what she felt inside, her face must show the world that she is distraught.
Yeah, then it kind of switches to that little when she told her not to smile.
She coached her, yeah.
My son will not be humiliated. And again, I think it's funny that
My
that's
son will not be. You're the
Yeah.
one who's being cast aside here for
Right.
another prettier, younger
You're
woman.
the one that's
but,
to look like a little fucking the humiliated girl.
But Sansa had asked what would be done with her now that she wasn't to be queen. And
That's to be determined.
Right.
I thought
But-
that was funny. It's TBD.
You'll
You know,
stay
what do you
here for
think?
now. And Sansa says, I want to go home. And that irritated the queen. You should have learned by now, none of us get the things we want. And
But Sansa did.
Yeah.
I did. I'm free of Joffrey. And now it's just that poor Margaery Tyrell girl that has to... She ends it with that. Like, and now that girl, Margaery, can deal with his monstrosity bullshit. And just ends it with poor girl. Like, fuck.
that's all right. Marjorie's capable.
Fuck yeah.
After the cheering, more heroes of Blackwater were summoned forth to receive their rewards. We get Paxter Redwine and his sons, Horror and Slobber. And after them came Lord Mathis Rowan, Lord Randall Tarley, Sir Kevin Lannister, my boy, Adam Marbrand, and the Lords Crakehall and Brax, as well as
And
four.
Leiden.
And whatever.
Whoa.
Nobody cared.
Then
about
came, four of lesser birth. One-eyed knight Philip Foot. He slew Bryce Caron in single combat. Lothar Brune, who killed his way to a bunch of the apples. John of Green Apple and, I don't know, Rodney of
He's
Red.
the apple eater.
And, yeah, he's the apple eater. He ended basically the whole apple line, so no more apples.
Damn
Fucking
it.
thanks a lot, dude. Thanks a lot.
Well, say bye to your iPhones.
No shit. Oh, well. And then next game, Willet, a man serving Harris Swift. He pulled his master out from under a collapsed horse and then defended him against half a dozen or a dozen attackers.
So, my question, why isn't Podrick Payne here? Well, I know why, but...
We asked
I
a
mean,
question like
very
that.
well. He did this similar shit to that
And
right
last,
there.
a squire named Peckledon.
Peckledon. Peckled.
Anyway, Peckledon, who killed and captured just a bunch of people. Just fucking, he was
And
on
he's
a
like
slaughter.
14.
Yeah, he was 14.
Yeah, he's super young.
So these men they're granted honors and titles and all that shit.
In a chapter full of power plays, Sir Kevin, my boy, makes the biggest one of all by going up and sitting next to Tywin.
Yeah.
Just
At the small council
yeah.
table.
Just
like,
go like that's my seat, bitch. What up, skirt?
This is where I sit.
Yeah,
I'm his
like,
second.
He's not there to be
I didn't even think of that.
rewarded.
Yeah.
He's the only one who's like not getting reward. He's just going and sitting next to his brother to fucking rule the realm because he's a badass motherfucker.
Yeah, Kevin's tight.
And so Tywin then rises and announces their rewards, weapons, armors, lands, titles, knighthoods. It's a whole hodgepodge
Yeah,
of
then
shit.
it brought in are some captains, and they're
Of the
basically
warships, yeah.
being rewarded for surviving the battle, essentially. Like
To Sansa.
yeah. She doesn't know necessarily why, but that's all she can see.
Helene the Pyromancer was raised to Lord, though neither lands nor castles came with that title.
So it's essentially as meaningful as Lord Varys and his title.
To Sir Lancel Lannister went lands, castles, and the rights to House Derry, whose last child lord had perished in the fighting in the Riverlands. But Sir Lancel did not appear to accept.
Now, is this the house that Arya heard Roose Bolton say that the men were down there burning
I believe so,
Derry,
yeah.
Castle Derry,
Yeah.
and that from there they were
That's
going to
why
Duskendale?
where Arya wanted Castle Derry
right,
burned
to burn
down.
because that's where Lady was killed.
Right, yeah.
And so, yeah, it's very interesting that Lancel's being granted that because they all happen to die there in the Riverlands, and that's going to be pinned on the Northerners now. It's wild.
Talk was that his wound that he took in the shoulder might cost him his arm or even his life. And so he did not appear to accept, which I think is interesting. Is he just becoming disillusioned with the whole fucking Lannister clan and the bullshit that they're pulling with Cersei slamming him in the fucking arm?
Right, and we do get part of that as well with some of his future
Well, yeah, right. But is
actions.
this that moment of like, no, fuck your lands and
I
titles?
think a lot of that had to do with that when Sansa went and helped him and Cersei pushed him over and like he didn't get any family courtesies. It was just like, go fuck yourself.
But Lancel isn't the only
Literally.
Lannister who is facing death, as the imp is said to be near death himself, taking
That's
a
about
wound to
all
the head.
we get from Tyrion.
Right.
About Tyrion this chapter.
No honors, no nothing.
Yeah.
Before the next was announced, Nate and I are going to convene our small council, not as publicly as this one, and let you guys know the details where you can reach us if you want to write us in, and we'll be real quick and get back to Sansa's final chapter.
Yeah. What up? Welcome to the Small Council. Again, not as eventful as the Small Council from this episode and this chapter that we're reading, as it is clearly a high-tension situation. But this is where we let you know how to get in touch with us. Yeah. So the easiest way being our Gmail, Without Manners, brotherhood@gmail.com. And that's where you can send us your long-winded emails, your questions, your whatever. Write to us, send
inductees,
us memes, all that cool shit. YouTube, we get tons of stuff over there.
Great discussion over
Stephanie
there.
And Amelia always bring up great points, especially like the last Sansa episode, touching on the Hound and his relationship with Sansa and the raping and all that, like the mental rape that she went through.
The rapey vibes that she definitely feels is in that chapter.
And so, of course, thank you to Stephanie and Amelia over there. The Gmail, Julian likes to write in there, and we love that. Karen as well writes in. We get the Patreoners, patreon.com/withoutmanners. They write in, give us all sorts of cool content to discuss. We're working on our episodes there. We've got some things recorded. I just have to get them edited, but school and kids and Corona are kind of impeding that slightly, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there. We appreciate your patience. We have Twitters at
you didn't give the Patreon address.
Yes, I did.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
All right.
Come at me.
Whoa.
Facebook.com/Brotherhood Podcast, and that's also where you can find the private Facebook group if you are a Patreon member. And then our Twitters at Manners Without. You're on Twitter at Carstark92.
Sort of.
You have an account on Twitter at Carstark92. Instagram at Manners Without. That's my Twitter as well. Yeah. We're on Stitcher. We're on Breaker. Once it releases the Amazon Audible.
There's some sweet podcast awards.
Yes. The nomination period ends on the 31st. So head over to the podcast awards. You can find the link on the Twitter.
And if you have and you've let us know, we said thank you. But thank you if you have voted for us. We appreciate it.
Yes, we've got that. And I think that those who have signed up and nominated might be entered into the drawing to be voters in the actual voting, not just the nominations. So when that pops up, if you get selected, vote for us there as well. So yay us. Go listeners. You can do it. We love you. I think that's all we really got to say about that.
Yeah, Sansa's jonquil is about to arrive, so let's
if you do use Stitcher, you can get a month's free premium using code Brotherhood. Try it out, and we'll let you get back to Sansa. Man, I'm pretty excited to discuss this next little bit about Baelish.
Next to arrive in the throne room was Lord Peter Baelish.
Spoiler alert.
Sansa sees him smiling as he kneels before the throne and thinks he looks so pleased.
Yo, I love that she... Because, of all people, she's going to spend some of the most time with him, and we're going to get to know Peter Baelish some of the best through her chapters.
Right.
And for her to already be picking up on that, like, he's clearly pleased. His plan is falling into line right now.
But she doesn't understand why he's being rewarded at all.
Nor why he's pleased about his rewards.
Right.
Because to her, they're empty.
Right.
But
and
anyway.
she's basically like, why the fuck are you here right now? And we know he made this happen. The Tyrells would not be here right now if Peter didn't go down to Bitterbridge and set up that alliance. And so
they grant him Harrenhal.
Yep.
All the lands and titles, and that the Baelishes will from now until forever will rule those lands and keeps.
As Lord Paramount of the Trident, yeah. And Littlefinger.
Which means that he would be taking over the role of Jon Arryn. Robin Arryn now. Little tiny tyke kid that's supposed to take over sickly fuck. But, yeah, like,
Robert Arryn.
Robin
Arryn is the Vale.
I'm an idiot.
That's
sorry,
Lord
Hoster Tully.
Yeah.
The other sickly
No,
guy.
No, I knew what you meant, but it took a minute to settle in my brain.
Thanks.
Excuse me.
Can't stop that.
I can't.
It's COVID. Sorry, guys.
But Littlefinger thanks him, and he's like, I guess I'll have to acquire some sons and grandsons, and cue the card. Varys holds up, laugh.
Everybody, like Joffrey dies,
yeah.
And I put Joffrey in company, laugh, and Sansa thinks that, like, that place is... and I really like that she's... Of all people who would, of course she would, believe that it's cursed, and that's not a safe place. We know who the ghost of Harrenhal is.
Yeah, it's fine. Your sister,
Arya,
girl.
Like, she's
and
the
she
one.
thinks the Lannisters don't even hold the place at the moment, which is where I'm going to pause.
Debatable.
Right.
Is it?
Do the Lannisters hold it at the moment? Roose Bolton holds it at the moment, and is about to give it to Vargo Hoat at the moment.
So, a few things here. We don't quite know how far into the future from... Arya's chapter this is. And we do know that what's their face? Roose Bolton and especially Roose Bolton says that Tywin's going to be spending some time wrapping
right,
stuff
so the
up
Battle of Blackwater was done.
And so
by Arya.
Right. And do we assume that because obviously they had time to plan and script. Tywin scripted that.
This is within a day or two.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking as well.
And same for Arya. Like, I would say 2 days at most have passed since Arya's chapter.
So part of me thinks that Arya's hasn't actually even happened yet.
It could... Arya left at night. It could be the next morning.
Right.
Here, in Sansa's.
Just because they would have to send the letter up there, a raven, to let them know that the battle has been won from King's Landing.
Right.
And in those 2 or 3 days it would take for that raven to get there, I would imagine 2 or 3 days, right?
Well, everybody knew Tywin was heading south anyway.
But that the battle was won. And who's to say
Tywin didn't already send ravens out? I mean, if Tywin knew about the Tyrell alliance, he had to have known.
Well, yeah, I mean,
going
it would
in.
make
So
sense.
With that, the battle's fucking won. Like, Stannis isn't gonna, not knowing the Tyrells are there, that was enough for Tywin. Tywin had more men. He has the most men on the field out of any kings. Then add the fucking might of Highgarden. And so Tywin may have been sending ravens like, I
don't know that he would preemptively send one with the victory. Maybe.
He's
definitely
preemptively, there's already stuff with the Red Wedding happening.
Well, and so that's where
Tywin is preemptive as fuck.
Are we assuming that Roose is already, once he's talking to the phrase,
I think talks are in line.
When he's given Vargo Hoat, during the last Arya chapter, he's on board with the Lannisters at that point. He's already talking,
think so.
At least in negotiations.
I think he's open to talk, yeah.
Like, this is where they're going, hey, eventually we're going to turn our attention towards that idiot Theon.
Robb lost
Winterfell.
the North, right.
You want that?
Right.
Roose, how about
There's an opening in Winterfell now. Robb lost it, and that is, and it was what Stannis said. He cannot lose
his home
keep if he walks away from, and that's exactly what happened to Robb. And so, yeah, I think at this point, it's Harrenhal is in their possession, and they know it is. And Littlefinger may have an inkling as to that being
absolutely.
the case, and that's why he's just sort of smirking, like, okay,
all
sure.
Right.
And I think it's also Littlefinger knows it's a stepping stone. Like,
right.
I've got lands and titles now.
And
I'm a high lord.
I also intend to make moves on Lysa and
right,
this and that
and take the Vale. Yeah.
So anyway, we cut back to the small council, the throne room, and Sansa says that over 600 knights knights were made that day.
Yeah.
They made their walk of atonement, essentially, is what I saw it as.
To show that they have humble hearts.
Humble hearts, and so I thought it was really
barefoot
neat,
across the
very
city.
Foreshadowing to show that here's your humble. You need to expose your heart.
Oh,
to
yeah.
show your how humble. Yeah. That's the exact same thing that Margaery and Cersei, are expected to do.
The faith,
so
and
I
that's what the faith
really
militant put Cersei through. Yeah. However, it took super long because there's only 3 brothers of the. He says the white sword, which is, I don't know if that's a typo in my book and was supposed to be the white cloak, but it had me all fucking tripped up for like a good 30 seconds where I just read it like 4 times and I'm like, what the fuck is Brothers of the White Sword?
You carry on. I'm gonna pull.
And so there was only 3 of those. We learn here the sort of news that everyone knows: Sir Mandy Moore perished in the battle. The Hound vanished. Sir Aerys Oakheart is in Dorne with Princess Myrcella, and Jaime is currently Robb's prisoner. And so that leaves 3 of the motherfuckers: Boros Blount, Meryn Trant, and who is the third? Boros Blount, Meryn Trant.
Aerys Oakheart? Oh no, he's down in Dorne.
He's down in Dorne.
Sorry. I think I wrote it down here.
Kettleback.
Yeah, that's right. Osmond.
Yeah.
Or Osfrid or
Osfrid.
Osbig.
And
I did say White Sword. So I think that's just must be
a weird, because I've never heard them called the White Sword.
No, I don't
White
think...
Cloaks or something like that, but yeah, it was weird to me.
Yeah. So after all that, everyone's pretty much restless.
Even Joffrey on the throne.
None more so than Joffrey up on the throne, just shifting around.
I like the way this is phrased, but the day's work was far from done because now the coin flipped and the captives are brought in.
Yeah, and so I'm just gonna run through this real quick list here because and this isn't even close to how many were actually done, but we got Lord Celtigar, we got Sir Bonifer, Lord Estermont, Lord Varner, Sir Mark Mullendore, Red Ronnet of Griffin Roost, Sir Dermont of the Rainwood, Lord Willem and his sons, I didn't name them because screw them apparently, Sir John Fossaway, Sir Timon Scrapesword, Arain, the Bastard of Somewhere, Lord Staidman, and hundreds more. Hundreds, yo.
So essentially, it goes, those who beg for forgiveness are welcomed into the king's peace. But a handful do remain defiant. One starts fucking screaming.
Yeah, dude, he is not having it. Lord King, or King Stannis is the one true king, and you'll all fucking burn from the flames, because he's come to get you.
He'll return, and when he does, your time will come, boy. And Joffrey's like, well, your time's come now, bitch, Sir Ilyn. And so Sir Ilyn takes him outside and takes him out. Another knight began screaming that Joffrey was the black worm corrupting the realm, and along with the demon mother and the fucking whisper spider and
the imp,
all of them, just calling all of them out.
It was awesome.
And Joffrey freaks the fuck out, standing, shrieking, "Kill him! I am the king! Kill him! I command it!" And then he shrieks, and because he's flailing his arms around, and he hits the barbs on the Iron Throne.
Oh, Mother!
He literally, in court, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, shouts for his mother.
Dude, shrieks for his mother.
As the blood begins to soak through his sleeve.
In front of everybody.
In front of the entire fucking court, dude.
The knight, at this point,
hell yes,
shouts out, even the throne denies... I don't know why he's a fucking dwarf from D&D, but even the throne denies you. Like, get the fuck off of there. And Cersei...
With all the eyes on Joffrey, that knight manages to wrestle a spear from a gold cloak. He should have charged him. He should have fucking charged him.
It would have been tight.
It would have been better than what happened to him. With all eyes on the king, the knight somehow got a spear from a gold cloak and shouts that he is no king. Cersei ran for the throne, but Tywin was still as stone.
Still as stone.
Why is she using an Arya mantra to describe Tywin fucking Lannister?
I think it's because he's so scary and imposing.
It's crazy.
I think similar to...
I mean, not to say that similes, are Arya's thing that anyone.
Well, we were reading about it or listening about it the other day. That theme that's in music and operas and in musicals when they repeat the same music at different cue points, high points. I forget the term right now, but I think it's Martin's doing a similar thing where he's using these phrases that we've become accustomed to, accompanying them with Serial Pharrell when Arya's doing these mantras, still as a snake or swift as all that shit. Now we're seeing still as a stone, and it's like, fuck. You don't get a mantra unless you're like some powerful,
legit, especially from Sansa.
Yeah, and so I thought that was cool as hell. And once again, like we're at the end of book 2.
Yeah,
this is all we know of Tywin.
Right.
Is that he is an imposing, powerful man. He's
and
completely in control.
People start losing their fucking mind.
He is
here.
completely in control.
Like my heart started. It's like, oh shit! Like this guy's gonna go at Joffrey. Like oh shit! Cersei's booking it for the throne. It's Baelor Sept all over again. Tywin lifts a finger.
One fucking finger is all it takes.
And Meryn Trant puts a brutal end to it. 2 knights grab the guy, and Meryn Trant shoves his longsword through the guy's chest.
So, Meryn Trant is the same one who, on Joffrey's beck and call, whooped Sansa's ass.
Yep.
But Joffrey didn't do it with a single finger.
No.
He had to yell and command for this shit to happen, and was defied by one of his kingsguard openly that same time. Tywin just lifted a finger and Meryn Trant just
ended it. Yeah.
Just acted. Fucking wild.
Yeah, Tywin's a boss.
Took 3 Maesters.
Joffrey
and Cersei
fell into his mother's arms.
Collapsed.
Off of the throne. Oh,
mother, help
and
me.
3 Maesters hurry out, and they're like, the king.
He's Draco Malfoy after Buckbeak cut the fucking
They
arm.
bundle him off out the king's door, and chatter begins to rise in the hall.
Varys whispers to Littlefinger, and Sansa starts wondering, perhaps they'll dismiss us now. Nope. Tywin's like, nope. This motherfucker stands up. He's like, we continue. And then he goes and takes a seat on the steps in front he lights up a blunt.
I mean, he basically turns a chair around and just sits on it that way.
He's like the cool teacher who's like, all right, let me show you how to run a kingdom real quick.
Yeah, what the fuck, Tywin? You can't have this much swag.
I think part of it is to do with the comment that Sansa makes to herself, because right here she wonders if Joffrey was badly hurt, if he cut himself deep, and she thinks, they say the Iron Throne can be perilous cruel to those who were not meant to sit in it. Maybe that's partially why I don't want to rule. I'm not the king. And Ned sat in the fucking thing when he was there. Tywin isn't, even though he's the hand as well. He's not when Ned did.
Tywin doesn't need to.
Right. And that's where I was going to say, it's not that and
he knows he's
not meant to. It's that. It's not that he's not meant to.
He has the power of a king.
Why would he need to sit up there?
He can lift his finger at the council table while the king is in the room. And people die.
Dude.
Yeah, so he doesn't need to ascend the throne. I'll sit right here on the fucking stairs. And then no one can claim that he's trying something, because he's not assuming the throne like Ned Stark did. He's just sitting on the step, and he's gonna rule as the hand should, but he's not assuming the throne. It's another fucking power play, and it's Tywin is basically just pulling his dick out and just waving it, and like, look at I rule King's Landing. Fuck you all.
Yeah, Bruce Bolton laying naked. You think that's power play?
Right.
This is basically the same thing.
So light is fading by the time it's all said and done.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Like, we cut into Sansa in her bedroom.
She goes to her chamber. She squeals with joy into a pillow. Gods be good, she thinks. He set me aside in front of everyone. And as dinner comes, she wants to kiss the handmaid who brings it to her. And she thinks that even the food tastes sweeter.
Yummy, delicious.
Come dark, she dons a cloak and heads off for the godswood.
Yeah, Osmond Kettleblack was guarding the gate, or one of the Kettleblacks. I don't know who gives a fuck which one. And she pretends to look sullen once again, like she did before. She's so distraught over it.
But his smirk and sneer make her think she didn't do a very good job. So she's like, whatever.
Yeah, but she gets into the godswood, which is obviously where she was going, and Dontos is there waiting for her, sad-faced, and why so dour-looking, sweet Dontos? And he's like, you're fucked.
Yo, he patronizes the shit out of her. He takes her hand, and he's like, oh, poor Jonquil, you do not understand. Of course you do not understand. You're a woman. You're useless. Like, fuck you, Dontos.
Dude, you're a fool.
Right? Fuck you. So yeah, he
Yeah, so she says,
Done
you were
with
there.
You. Yeah, done with you. They've scarcely begun with you. Like,
yeah.
they're not.
Her heart sank.
Whatever do you mean?
What do you mean? The queen will never let you go, and Joffrey will have you if he wants. Just now it will be little bastards he's popping into your stomach.
Instead of princes. Ugh. And, yeah, you're too valuable a hostage. Cersei's not going to let you
and
go.
She's like, no, 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 no. And Dontos is like, never fear. I swore to see you home. The day has been chosen.
He says, and now I can. And now I can.
Yes.
The day has been chosen. Because last week, remember Sansa and Dontos meeting. He said he was waiting for his friend to return to the city.
Guess who's back?
Baelish is back. And he's Harrenhal's lord or something. And so, yeah, him and Littlefinger have worked it out. And she says, when? And he tells her, the night of Joffrey's wedding.
That's all the way.
All right, can I finish what he actually said before she starts interrupting?
Okay, sorry.
The night of Joffrey's wedding, after the feast, during the feast, arrangements have already been made. The Red Keep will be full of strangers, half drunk, the other half helping Joff bed his bride. You will be forgotten for a little while. The confusion will be our friend. Cue the, there you go.
Anyway,
that's not for a moon's turn.
Yeah,
it's not for a month. I got a month to wait.
They just sent for Margaery, and she's all the way down in Highgarden. Like, it's going to take fucking forever for her to get here.
You've been so patient, sweetling. Be patient a little longer. And then his gross, grubby hands start grabbing for something. And
she's like, oh, God.
I have something for you. And he pulls out a hairnet of fine spun silver. And where the two strands cross, small gems were set. And they're dark, dark stone that seem to drink any light. And she asks what kind of stones they are.
They are rare black amethysts. They may look black, but in the sunlight they're a dark, dark purple. From a shy. Magic they are.
And in a very Dany thought.
Dude, I have it fucking in
it is lovely,
next
Sansa says. But thinks it is a ship I need, not a net for my hair.
Yo, like this.
Literally, the trinkets in Karth that she's been like. I don't need this shit. I need a ship. Like, what a queen! Fucking slay it, queen.
She's killing it.
Sansa's a queen by the end of it. Can we just fucking say it?
He says this because she tells him it is lovely,
right?
And he says it's lovelier than you know. It's magic, you see. It's justice. You hold. Oh, I fucked that up. It's justice you hold. It's justice you hold.
It's justice you hold.
Vengeance for your father. It's home. Now that I'm done fucking that up.
Right.
Anyway, that's that.
So, full spoiler reread. The hairnet's how Joffrey gets poisoned.
Yo.
That's already planned.
Dude.
Is this hairnet magic?
No. I think he's just got the poison, and he's kind of...
Black stones from a shy? Magic coming back in the world?
I don't fucking know. What do
I'm
you
just
want from me?
I want provocative
I guess that makes
discussion
sense.
On the chapter. You know?
I don't...
Do you think it's magic?
No.
You just think it's the stones that are poisoned.
Well, like, I don't know how they're poisoned. Like, is the poison inside them, or they just dipped in it? And, like, that's dangerous stuff if she doesn't know how to... And so I think that there's got to be some kind of...
chemical reaction or something?
Something that she does, or maybe it's a specific stone.
Olenna Tyrell's a fucking, like, blood mage. She's a magi, crazy. And she's like, and throws it in the cup.
Yeah, I don't know.
Martin knows, A, Red Wedding is happening, B, Joffrey's death is happening.
He knows the Red and the Purple Wedding are both happening.
And are clearly setting them both in motion.
And so that's what I wanted to mention is that this is the last chapter of Sansa for Clash of Kings. What a fucking cliffhanger.
Oh, yeah.
She's free from him, but then Dontos says, no, you're fucked.
Right, and the hairnet is so, like, when you're first reading, you're like, oh, wow, thanks for the hairnet, douchebag. Yeah. She needs a ship, not this fucking And then we know the hairnet is the catalyst that gets her out. It's the ticket,
to the ship. It's
brilliant. It's brilliant
and
writing.
For all that to be known in, like, right before Storm. And that's what's crazy is we thought that this was like Blackwater and this whole book you think is this crazy, crazy story.
But it all comes to a head in Storm.
It's just the build-up for what's going to come here in the next book.
Yeah, it's such a good last chapter. We get Tywin just at his absolute most powerful, returning to King's Landing, having saved the city, and taking his rightful place as king. No mention of Tyrion Lannister whatsoever, except in Sansa's thoughts.
And he's the one that planned everything.
It is Sansa who thinks of and mentions the Hound and Tyrion. And so
at the same time as Lancel Lannister, which I think is pretty interesting that she's now bulking Lancel with those two as one of the okay ones. I can't believe I'm helping them.
Refuted their effort.
Because when she picked him up, she was saying that. The same stuff,
I should let him die.
Do you have an inductee?
It's fucking Tywin. It's got to be Tywin.
Nice.
It was going to be Kevin because my boy. Kevin. But Tywin is just that. It took it for me when he got up and went and sat on the step. And Sansa said he's about 3 feet.
3 steps
above everybody,
the floor,
but that's it. And so I just see him one leg arm draped over one leg, just sitting there ruling the shit, and everybody is still fucking cowed in front of him, and it's goddamn Tywin Lannister.
Nice.
You?
Tywin's horse.
For taking a bit of shit.
On the whole situation, he's like, I don't give a fuck. What's happening here?
I'm a horse.
Oh, you're a kingsguard? Oh, you're on the small council? Hand of the king over here, bro. Nice. You're killing some Northmen. Shit. On the floor. And then somebody has to come and clean that shit up. He's like, what are you going to do? I got the armor. I'm a fine destrier. Get the fuck out of here.
It's a sick horse.
And so
I mean, it's not sick. It's just healthy poops.
He's a healthy.
Yeah, good healthy poops.
Yeah, nice solid stool.
Yep.
All right. So the horse.
Cool.
Fuck yeah.
All right.
We got an inductee from my lovely friend in France.
Julian!
Hey.
He says, as you don't like to be called America, hi, fellow Americans!
Thank you so much.
And he says, are things better regarding COVID in California?
Nope,
no.
Definitely not.
Nope.
No
We're
way.
just dumb Americans who can't wear fucking face masks, apparently, because it's so goddamn hard. War has ended. Rewards are to be handed. Treasons are to be dealt with. Captive foes are to be sorted. Not an uninteresting chapter. Even though the constant random name dropping got me a little bit sleepy. Some of it's random, but people like Lothar Brune do come to prominence.
Other people will kind of pop up in those names and
so
locations.
they do become.
We're here to point that out for you. That's what we're here for.
And there's 2 smiley face emojis, so
nice. he's aware of that. He's
enjoyable
aware.
To see Sansa's relief when she's freed in quotations from Joffrey, and saddening too when Dontos says he might not be done with her after all. A spark of hope for her flight. Damn TV show spoilers. My inductee is going to be the Iron Throne. If I could have, I would have even named the single sword that cut Joffrey. Mother! You moronic child. But the whole throne is way better. Might bring it with glorious Tywin sitting on the steps. Oh, that'd be epic. I wish you the best. Valar Catarius.
Wonderful.
Great.
Yeah,
no, I had to close my book for a minute when I was taking my notes because Joffrey shouted out mother when he got cut. I stubbed my toe and fuck.
Mommy, I've got the very shot. Holy
yeah,
fuck.
dude, you're the king. You just said I am the king when you commanded to have someone killed. He who passes the sentence should swing the sword, by the way. But then you're going to shout for mommy. Julian, thank you as always for that great inductee of the sword who cut Joffrey's stupid fucking arm.
Yeah. Those were our thoughts, feelings, and inductees on Sansa.
Hey, you said the thing!
I know,
you said the
thing!
thing!
Sansa 10?
Sansa 8.
I don't know.
And her
Arya
last.
10 was
and her final. So that means,
yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, that we are down to 4 chapters.
Of Clash of Kings.
Clash of Kings. Next, we will be reading Theon 6.
Yes.
Theon's final.
Fuck Theon.
After that is Tyrion.
Tyrion.
His final.
All done with Tyrion.
Then Jon.
Jon Snow up at the wall.
And then
north of the wall.
Brandon Stark.
And what? Brandon Stark's alive?
Oh, shit. Sorry, spoiler alert.
Anyway.
Should have done that at the top of the show.
So yeah, 4 more chapters. Get your inductees. Some of you already have. We appreciate that. Some have started getting us inductees for Storm of Swords.
Can I tell you how tempting it is to read those? And I'm not reading them yet?
So for anybody that's new, when we get inductees, or even for those who aren't aware, when you send us your inductees, when you title them, as we appreciate the way you do,
yeah.
we prefer to wait until after we've taken our notes on that chapter.
Right.
And chosen our inductees, so that way we're not swayed by your thoughts and your decisions.
Because you guys are so fucking good at everything.
Yeah, and it's like, as soon as I read your email, I'm like, fuck. That's my inductee now, too. And so I got to make sure I've got one, or at least that
our reasons
I've thought of the chapter in my own way before
yeah.
I've thought about your feelings about the chapter. And so when I see a Storm of Swords prologue inductee, I'm like, I got to wait till I fucking read that Storm of Swords prologue again.
Yeah, looking at you, Karen. Anyway, guys, we appreciate it. You are giving us life in this terrible, terrible time to be an American. And so we appreciate everything you guys do as far as writing us and interacting with us. And
we're doing our best to interact back. But yeah, just remember, Black Lives Matter, wear a mask, and don't be a fucking cunt to people.
Yeah, like, be fucking kind to each other. Jesus Christ. It's like the shitty politicians that we should all be angry at, not fucking each other. So let's relax a little bit, all right?
Anyway, I think we'll get off
Theon
of that.
6 is our next chapter. Send us inductees for that so we can then bitch about Theon for about 40 minutes at you. Well, it's going to be good because Theon gets fucked up. So.
Fuck Theon. Yeah, it's going to be so
Winterfell.
good. Poor Winterfell.
But then Bran leaves. All right. Theon 6, send us inductees. Vala to Harris.
Peace.